Hi everyone, happy Thursday. Thank you for coming in here tonight to join me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin & Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Central, where we work on a craft and relax and chill and chit chat together. Right now we are working on one of my kits, the Craft a Happy Life hand embroidery kit. I think we have just today yet to go on the embroidery. Here we are, just raft to do yet, and a couple little of the details. So we'll finish that up tonight, and tomorrow we'll go over how to press your embroidery when it's finished, and we will put it in the hoop. So we have a cute little finished hoop with a bow. We will also go over how to take off Sticky Fabri-Solvy, or Sulky's Stick and Stitch is what it's called now. We'll go over how to remove that from your embroidery if you ended up using that, if you're using a downloadable PDF pattern. So, all right guys, that's the plan for this evening and tomorrow. Thanks for joining me again. Hello everyone popping in here. Hope you got your needle and thread ready, and I'm gonna flip you guys around and we'll get started. Okay, so here we are. We left off with the C up here, I believe, and actually no, we left off with the blue, I think. Yeah, we finished this Lazy Daisy last time here. So I think now I want to go back and do some more of this gold. So all we have left for the gold is we have this little dot right there, little French knot. We have all of the raft and this little dot, and then the dot in the Lazy Daisy right there. So what I like to do first is, oh, thanks Patricia. What I like to do first is kind of map it out, like what's my plan. I think I might, well, I was thinking about maybe starting at this T and then grabbing this dot here. What I could do is weave in the ends behind the Y here, and then hop up to this French knot, and then hop up to the T. When we hit the F, we can hop up and catch these two guys, and then maybe hop back down to the A. That might be a plan. Why don't we give that a try? So first of all, let's get her back in the hoop. So now I can actually, since this is the area we'll be stitching, and I'm not going to be stitching anything down here, I can center just that stuff, which might make it a little easier if I'm a little farther away from the edge. So there, it's not centered now. I moved it over a little bit just because we are just going to be stitching in this area. This might be a little helpful. Thanks again for coming in, guys. I hope your embroideries are going well. This is a nice, I was saying this last night, but I think this is just the right little palette cleanser project before we go back into, on Monday, we'll be starting up block 2 of the I Love Home block of the month quilt along. So we'll be doing that up again. So I'm just gonna, I just need the gold from here right now. Oh, you tried to order the PDF? Oh, really? Okay, Charlie Ann messaged me when well, you can message me right now on Facebook, or don't, I mean, wait till we're done here, maybe, because I think it might pop up on the screen here, but if you're still interested, like, email me at info@penguin&fish, and we'll take care of it. I'll take care of it tonight yet. We're having a couple little issues with the ordering, so I'll get that sorted out too. I'm so sorry about that. Ooh, technology, figuring it out. All right, so I am separating my 3 strands again, so I'm gonna just grab just one strand at a time and pull it out. Oop, got a little don't think it got knotted there, but it got a little tight. All right, that's our first one. Yeah, I will figure that out tonight yet if I can. But I can just send it to you directly versus through the website. That's what we'll do for now if you're still interested. We will be working on this tomorrow yet. I think we'll get the embroidery part done today, and then we'll press it and do the Fabri-Solvy. Oh, you've ordered before and no problem. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to my tech guys again and we'll figure it out. We were having some trouble earlier and I think they fixed it, but that might have caused other issues. So we'll get it checked out. Oh, I wanted to show you guys too. So we'll be taking the Fabri-Solvy off too. So here we go. I did another Craft a Happy Life guy on that jean fabric. So I used the Sticky Fabri-Solvy on the jeans. So it's this light pale green and white. It's kind of hard to tell the colors when you have the Fabri-Solvy on, but if we look at the back, it's gonna be kind of like that color scheme. So I'm excited about this. So tomorrow I'll show you how to take off the Fabri-Solvy in case I keep saying Fabri-Solvy, but it's called Stick and Stitch now. We'll take off the Stick and Stitch tomorrow as well. So we'll press our pieces and take off the Fabri-Solvy. In case you wanted to see how that worked, that product. I like using it. It worked especially well for the jeans because I can't trace onto the jeans because it's too thick, and it was hard to use that transfer carbon paper too because it's a little squishy. So squishy fabrics and fabrics you can't see through, the Sticky Fabri-Solvy works really well for that. So we'll take that off as well, and I'll show you how I clean it up and dry it out right away too. All right, so back and forth 3 times. So I'm starting at that Y and then jumping up to that dot and then spelling craft backwards basically. I could have gone the other way. It's just what seems right to you. I mean, I could have gone this way, then hit these 2 and then kept going here, but I kind of wanted to end not on the dot because a dot's kind of difficult to tuck in, although I just basically did the same thing, just opposite. So I don't know, however you want to tackle it, but we're gonna start with that French knot. Why don't I get super close again? I'll show you, we got real close last night to do a French knot, and I'll show you it again here. So I always start on one side of the dot. I'm gonna start on this side of the dot and I'm gonna end up on this side of the dot. So I'm holding the thread up away from the fabric, and I'm gonna point my needle away from the fabric as well. So I'm not towards, like this would be towards the hole. I wanna point it away from the hole. So wrapping around twice, and then I'm gonna hold it there with my finger and then point it back towards the fabric. So we were pointing away, now we're pointing towards, and I'm gonna poke it in right on the other side. So you can see I'm not in the same hole, I'm on the other side of that dot. I'm gonna let go with my finger and pull that tight. My needle is in there. And then I'm just going to put my thumb on there to hold those loops in place while I slowly bring my thread through. And when I can feel it go all the way through, that is that. So there is my nice little French knot. So that's the deal, guys. All right, I'm gonna zoom back out and we will stitch the rest of that. And if you're missing any one of those steps, that's where some trouble can come in. Like you might get funny loops or lose your knot, or it might not even make a knot to begin with. So I talk about that a little bit in some other other live streams on the 3 things you might be doing wrong on your French knot. So I can talk about that a little bit again when we get up to these French knots. But that's always a pickle. French knots, just why isn't it working? You know, you think you're doing everything right, but then it still doesn't work. So you're probably doing one of those three issues. So we'll talk about that some more with some of the more other French knots in here. We got a whole pile of French knots coming up right there. That'll be kind of cute. A bunch of them all next to each other. It is easy once you have the tricks down, Carol. Like once you know, like if you're doing something wrong, once you figure out what that is, then it usually all kind of makes sense after that. All right, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch to here, and I'm going to jump up and do that dot, then I'm going to jump to here, and then I'm going to stitch behind these stitches and come back and finish this F. I think that's my plan. So we'll do this in 2 stitches. All right, now I'm going to jump up to the French knot that we'll put in the Lazy Daisy stitch. And it's the same idea. I'm going to start on one side and end up on the other side. It's no different other than there's a whole pile of other floss in our way, kind of. So, all right, I'm going to lay it down here again. So here you can see it from far away. I'm holding the thread up, pointing the needle up so it points up the twice around, and I'm going to hold the loops with my fingers, point it back towards the fabric, and put it in that other side of that dot, not in the same hole. Then I'm going to pull those threads so they're against the fabric. You don't have to really pull it super tight. They just have to be, you just want it against the fabric. And you know, my needle, this is how far my needle is sticking out on the other side, just enough so it won't pop out. Then I'm going to put my thumb there, and we will hold those loops until it's all the way through. And there we go. So that's a cute way to finish off your Lazy Daisy stitch. Your Lazy Daisy flower is to put the little French knot in there. Okay, let's do it again. So one of the things, I'm going to call out the things you might be doing wrong. So see if you're doing any of these things. I'll get close again. See if you're doing any of these things. And if you are, then this might be why your French knots aren't working. So I'm going down from the one side there, and I'm going to end up on this top side. I always kind of like to start at the bottom and end up at the top, just as an easy way to remember. So the first thing you might be doing wrong is you might be pointing your needle towards it while you make the loop. So if you make the 2 loops and go this way, what you're going to end up with is just a little straight stitch. And I'm not going to do all the errors right now, just because I don't want to mess up this front. But here's the checkpoint number 1. If you're pointing it towards, turn it the other way. You want it away, like pointing up away from your fabric. All right, wrapping it around twice. So here is the next place for error. All right, I'm gonna hold those loops. If you go in the exact same hole you came out of, if you do that, you risk pulling your knot all the way to the back, like it might just pop through to the back. So instead, you wanna go a couple threads away. That's why I always start at the bottom and I kind of end up at the top of my little circle dot. Just so I know that there's a few threads in the middle. And let me see if I can get closer to show you guys. So there we go. I'm not going in the same hole. I'm a few threads over. So then we'll pull those tight against. So here is the third place that can mess you up. Oh, hey Gwen, thanks for joining. The third place that can mess you up is if you just start pulling the needle through. Because if you do that, your loops are going to loosen, and they might they'll become bigger and bigger loops, and your ending French knot might just be kind of messy, not so tidy. So to keep a nice, compact, tidy French knot, that's when I hold those loops against the fabric with my thumb there. So that's the third thing. Oop, got a little knot in here. That's the third thing you want to make sure you're doing is holding those loops. And there we go. Got a nice old knot. Here, we'll stitch this close for a little while. So I'm gonna just weave into the back here again, just so I'm not making a big jump from here to there. I'm just making it like 2 smaller jumps by weaving it in the back. All right, hopefully I'm not making you guys seasick this close. Let me know and I can always change back. It's kind of fun to see it this close. So doing the little back stitch, I think I might pick up these 2 little stitches before doing the rest of that. We'll do it in 2 stitches. I could have probably done that in 1 stitch, but you know, you just have to decide, do I want it 1 big stitch or 2 little stitches? Oh, it looks good for you this close. Well, that's good. I think I might go a little further down. All right, finishing up the back stitches for this F. We'll stay like this for a little. I'm stabbing my thread, my needle straight down through the fabric. It's kind of a big stitch here, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna just jump over here and start the A. I think I might get this middle bar of the A in there too. I was just thinking we had those French knots to do yet, but we did them all. We did them already, like just now. I forgot already. Looked up and there they were done. So all we have is this A and the R, and then that's it for this gold, this yellow gold thread. After this, we'll get some of that blue going and finish this guy up. We have the letter A, and then these little guys on the side, and then that'll be it. Nice quick embroidery. This is totally a perfect, this is a good like 90s movie project. Like some movie like Footloose or something that you've seen like a bajillion times, so you just have to listen to it, and then you can look up every once in a while when they dance, and and that type of movie, that's a good crafting, good embroidery movie. Although is that a 90s movie? That might be an 80s movie, actually, now that I think of it. Good 80s movies. 90s movies would be pretty good too. High Fidelity, that'd be a good movie to stitch to. Get some good music in there. Oh, Patricia, you're having bad reception tonight. I'm sorry about that. All right, I think after we finish this gold, I will zoom back out. Just a little bit of this R left. I hope I have enough thread. Oh yeah, I should have plenty. I have a lot on here yet. So I'm doing the same thing that I talked about last night. I'm in my head, I'm kind of mentally, oh, Harry Potter movies, that's a great idea. That's a good one. Yeah, where you can just have it as background noise and you know everything that happens. But all right, so for here, this curve, I'm in my head dividing it up into straight lines. Like I'm thinking, how can I do these straight lines? Because each stitch is just a tiny little straight line. How can I make these straight lines look like a curve? So that's why I'm going at the angles I am. And even if you use even smaller stitches, then, you know, it might look even more like a curve. But I just want the effect of a curve, and I think if I did any less than this, I might lose that effect a little bit. All right, 2 more stitches and we'll be done with gold. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. We gotta remember that we need to put a blue dot in there too. Can't forget the other little flower. That'd be a bummer. All right. Done with the orangey gold. Orangey yellow gold. So, all right, I'm gonna weave it into the back of these stitches 3 times. A little close to the hoop yet, so we'll do this in 2 steps here. There we go. That's 2 and 3. Okay, so let's snip that. I snip it close to the stitches, but not so close that I don't want to accidentally cut my real stitches. And that is that. All right, I'm going to zoom you guys back out. Okay, so now we have the blue. I'm going to leave the hoop where it is because it seems, we're still kind of centering our blue items. So let's see, let's map it out. I think I'm going to start with the A and do the A, and then I think I'm going to weave it into the back of these stitches. I could go down this way, then I'd be by all the blue. Maybe I'll do that. So I'm going to stitch the A. I'm going to weave it into all these stitches. I could just tie it off there. Like I could weave in the ends there and start fresh down here. You know, maybe that'd be better. Then I wouldn't be having too much going on in the back. So I'm going to start and stop the A, and then I'm going to go in and weave in the ends here and then start with that French knot and work my way up around. I think that's the plan. I think that sounds good. Oh, Cheryl. Well, good luck. I hope it goes well. Oh, that's no fun. We'll be thinking of you for sure. All right. We're going to pull these 3 strands out of here. 2. Oh, you're on now. Oh, you had to be off. Oh, I thought you were saying that you were going to be off. So, oh, good. I'm glad. Well, it must have gone well if you're here. So good. Welcome back. Oh, now recovery stuff. Well, glad to have you here, and I hope it went okay. All right, we got this ready. So let's start with that A. I think I'll weave it into the back of this P maybe. I think that's pretty close. One, 2, 3. I kind of took a long piece of thread. I probably didn't need, oops, I caught that thread up there. I didn't really need this much floss for what we have left, but better safe than sorry, I suppose. Okay, I think we'll start with the circle here. I think we'll stitch, now again I'm thinking about how can I achieve this round shape with these straight stitches, and I think I'm going to basically stitch an octagon. My stitches might be a little bit smaller doing that, but I think it'll look rounder. Sounds like someone's shooting bottle rockets outside. It's kind of odd. Last little bit of summer, maybe. All right, one more and we're around. So see, these stitches are quite a bit smaller than my other ones, but we do have a good circle shape going, I think. And we'll do this in 2 stitches. And I think just because it's going to go faster, I think I am going to weave down and then just jump over here. Try and hit the backs of these stitches so you can't really see where this thread is going. And then I got to make my way over here, I think. Backs of these stitches. Oh, my ring. This ring, I like wearing this. It's my brother got me this. It's actually for gamers. I showed it here a while ago, but I like using it for knitting projects, like where I have to count rows, but look, it's on 0. You can move the numbers. So you can like put whatever row you're on. So it's kind of blue or purple and shiny, but I like that you can count numbers on it. So it's I think it's meant for gamers to kind of keep track of the score and stuff, but I thought it was totally craft related, so I'm digging it. All right, where am I here? Yep, all right, so I'm gonna jump over here now and do this French knot here. I'll see if I can find the company that did it. I'll put a link to it in this Facebook post when I'm done here if I can find it. I might have to ask my brother about it. All right, I'm gonna put in the back here and then jump here, and then I think I'm just gonna jump from one to the next, even though it will, you'll see the stitches a little bit, but oh well. All right, so let's get this little X. I just think it's so neat for like a knitting project or something if you need to count, like I need to do 10 rows before I do that next cable or something, you know? All right, I'm gonna jump up to this single chain stitch here. So it was a little difficult to see when I did the single chain stitch down there because it didn't transfer very well, but I'll show you here again. So I'm coming up at the point and I'm making that kind of circle with my thread and going back in the same hole. And while the circle is still there, the loop, this like circle, I'm gonna come up on the opposite end of that loopy shape, that single chain shape. So right at the peak there. And that is going to catch this loop as I pull it tight. And then once it's the pretty shaped loop, I'm gonna stop pulling. I'm not gonna pull super duper tight because I wanna keep that nice loose shape. And then I'm gonna just do one little, let's see if I can get close, one little stitch on the other side of it. So I'm just, ooh, I didn't aim very well. I'm just on the other side of that loop. There we go, just on the other side of that loop. A couple threads away, I don't want to go in the same hole. And that's gonna just tack it down to hold that loop in place. Oh, she would love this ring as a crocheter. Oh, for fun. Yeah, I really like it. I just like wearing it every once in a while. It makes me happy. All right, I'm gonna do these French knots now. This is all we have left is these French knots. So when I do a cluster of French knots, I sometimes like to start at the top and then work my way down as far as clusters go. Because I feel like, well, one thing you have to look out for when you're doing a cluster of French knots is that you don't want to, when you're pulling your thread through, you don't want to catch it on another French knot. So you just got to be aware from that. And I think working from one side to the other helps with that. I like working from the top to the bottom. That's why I rotated my thing here, because the quickest jump is to like right here, right? I don't want to jump all the way up here. So I want to jump here, but I like working from top to bottom. So I'm just rotating it. So now it's at the top. So I'm going to start with that first French knot there. We'll do our 2 circles or 2 loops. Hold that in place. All right, there's number 1. I think I'll do this one right next to it. I like these little clusters of French knots. They're kind of fun to do. I have never done a large motif in this way. Like I've never done like a sheep and filled it all in with French knots before, or a flower, like a center of a flower. I haven't done that in all French knots. I think it would be super cool, but man, that'd be a lot of French knots to do. I'd be afraid I'd get caught on some of the other French knots, but I'm sure it wouldn't be too difficult. All you got to do is kind of pay attention that you're not, like, see right here, if I pull this tight, what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to loop around any of my other French knots. So I'm making sure that I'm kind of holding my thread away from the other French knots as I pull it through, just to kind of protect it from getting caught on the other French knots. That's why I like starting from the top to the bottom, because I can cover it with my thread. I'm jumping around. Do you mean like jumping from one shape to the other in the back? I am, just because it's just kind of easier that way, really. Oh, you love making French knots, a whole lamb's body? Oh, cute. I bet you it was super charming. But yeah, I mean, I could do each of these little motifs. Like I could do this square and start and end my floss there, so there's no, like, you can kind of see, you can, especially if I hold it up to the light here, so you can see the jumps in the back here. You know, I'm leaping from one shape to the other. I could weave it in at every single little piece, and then there would be nothing on the back. But that just, for a little project like this, I don't think it's worth it. You could do where you put the stabilizer behind it, or the interfacing behind it, so you have like a white layer in between the backs of your stitches and the front. You could do that, like putting a piece of batting there, or a piece of stabilizer, or interfacing, I mean. Then you wouldn't be able to see through all of that, so you wouldn't see the stitches, so that's an option. Or you just don't care if you see them or not. I'm actively not trying to do very large jumps, so like I wouldn't jump from here like all the way to here or something. I would make sure that I'm weaving it into the backs. That's what I've been doing this whole time. I've been trying to weave it into the backs a little bit, because I want to prevent very large jumps. Toe catchers is what we were calling them before. You know, this is kind of a little bit bigger. This is maybe one of the bigger ones, but still, it's not so big that I think it'll get caught on anything. And it's not like I'm stitching this for a towel or something, so this is never really going to be exposed to anyone, so it won't have the opportunity to get caught. If I was stitching on like a tea towel or something, I might be a little bit more active in making sure that I don't have very big jumps, and making it even like a nice cleaner back. Just because on a tea towel, you will see the back. The back will be exposed. In this case, I'm just making it into some wall art. Oh yeah, so that SF 101 fusible from Pellin, that'd be something to try. Exactly, Patricia. So if you're basically putting another layer in between the backs of the stitches and the fabric. So you're creating another visual barrier. So yeah, so that's a good thing. I was saying yesterday I like using batting too, makes a nice little poof to everything, which is pretty cute. That is it, guys. We have this guy finished, so that did not take long at all. I'm gonna take it out of the hoop right away, just so it can release, but here we are. Craft a happy life. So tomorrow what we'll do is we will press this. I'll show you. Oh, toe catchers, yes, toe catchers. I had never heard that before. I forget who, maybe someone here said it to me, I forget, but when you make too big of leaps behind something that your toe could catch on. if your toe can catch on it, then it's too big. I just thought that was cute, toe catcher, so that's what I'm calling it now. But all right, so tomorrow I'll show you how I like to press my embroidery, because I want to press it in a way that I don't squish all the pretty stitches. Like we just spent time like making all these French knots like poofy and everything. We don't want to just flatten them right away, you know? So tomorrow I'll show you kind of my technique for doing that. And we will get it in the hoop right away as well. I'm gonna get some, like a hot glue gun, and I will have that here so I can get it in the hoop just to, you don't need a hot glue gun. There's other ways to do it, but the quick way to do it is to use a hot glue gun to get it in the hoop, and I'll show you how to do that. And then we will tie our little bow, and we'll also, if you're using the Sulky Stick and Stitch, which is that Fabri-Solvy, it's that new Fabri-Solvy, we will take off the Fabri-Solvy from this some jeans here, and I can show you how that functions. The nice thing about this was that we could print it right from the printer, so I didn't have to trace any of this. Just print it out. The lines are perfect, and I can put it on like an opaque fabric like this that would be difficult to trace through. And this will come off in water. It'll just flake off. So that is the plan for tomorrow. But we are done stitching for the night. So there is a lot of thread left over, and that's on purpose, just in case you ended up stitching it with 6 strands or something. There should be enough in here for that. Otherwise, you have a little thread left over to stitch something else. So, okay guys, I think we'll just end it a little early there tonight, and I'm gonna flip you around and we will come back to this tomorrow. Hey guys, so a little quick, you can't find the pattern to print out. For this, it's, if you purchase the PDF, it should be emailed to you. So if it didn't get to you, then check your spam or email me. That's probably the best way. I'm gonna check off of here in a sec here. So if you guys have any questions about anything, just send me an email. You can do it at info@penguinandfish, all one word, A-N-D for and then I'll get back to you tonight, like right away here. We'll take care of whatever is not working out. So, all right, guys, here we go. Finished little guy here. The DMC colors, let me see. They are, I wrote it down here. I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, it's on the PDF one. The blue is $7.99. So the blue is $7.99. Oh, the block of the month. Oh, I forget what the question is. Oh, block number 2 isn't out yet. So you won't get block number 2 until Monday. So keep a lookout for the block number 2 PDF on Monday. That's when you'll receive it in your email, and that's when we'll start. We'll start Monday evening. So that will be that. Okay, so the blue is DMC $7.99, and the yellow gold color is $3.854. So 3854. Oh, you need one. Okay, Carol, if you signed up on Jacqueline's website, and if you go to Jacqueline Steve's website and then click the BOM, which is block of the month, it should pop up there. And if you sign up to her newsletter there, you should get it in your email. And if you've done that and you're not getting it, check your spam or send her an email and just to make sure it went through. So yeah, then you should get it right away, block number 1, and then we'll get block number 2 on Monday. So you would get both blocks. So that's the plan, guys. Thanks so much, and thanks for joining me for this embroidery, our little palette cleanser before we move on to block 2. And I hope you had some fun doing that, and I hope you learned a little bit. I learned a little bit. I learned something new every single time I do a project with you guys. So that's awesome. Oh, you've not received your package from Blair yet? Okay, so everything for that is on its way. That's for the English paper piecing project that we'll do in mid-September. Lots of projects coming up. It's exciting. It's fun to be working on all this stuff here with you guys in the evening. So I will get this up on YouTube at Penguin and Fish Movies. And if you guys have questions about anything, again, email me info@penguinandfish.com. And this will stay on Facebook. And we will finish up this project tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Central again. So awesome. Thanks again, guys. I will catch you tomorrow. Good night.